Tell me a little bit about how you manage these communications. Like in a situation where we do have 3 or 4 different stakeholders, each with oversight of a different part of the business, who are all coming together with the goal of agreeing on a set of forecasts. How do you design that meeting, and what are some of the common issues that you run into when you're having those conversations?
Yeah. So one of the things I specialize in is what we call SNOP, which is sales and operations planning. And that's basically an alignment meeting between the different departments. The way I like to
Hmm.
paint the picture is you have sales and marketing, and then you have finance and operations. Sales and
Hmm.
marketing are always overly optimistic. So sales thinks
Hmm.
everything they're doing, that every customer they spoke to is going to buy off the shelves. Marketing thinks every promotion they're going to run is going to be the next big thing. And then you have
Hmm.
finance and operations, which are the conservative side. So operations like we
Yeah.
only got X amount of labor, X amount of machine time. What are we doing? And then finance is like, well, who's going to pay for this? Like, do we have POs and
Hmm.
what's the reasoning? And so it really is just mitigating those four groups and understanding that they
Hmm.
each have their own agenda. They each have their own kind of lens that they view the world. And then
Hmm.
what are their measurables? What are their KPIs? And so the way I like to put it is like, how do you speak um, what I want to do in their language? And so a lot of times with the supply
Yeah.
chain team, they don't understand how to speak to finance. They don't know how to speak to marketing and sales. So that's something I spent
Mm.
my career learning to do. And
Mhm.
then it's just understanding that, even though everybody has their own agenda and their own kind of like measurable, it's what is the common ground between them. And everybody at the end of the day,
Mhm.
wants to hit their bonus, they want to hit their sales, but they have different risks, right? Like sales doesn't necessarily care about inventory because they, at the end of
Mhm.
the year, when they have a bunch of inventory, no one's going to sales and like, you're going to lose your bonus because we have inventory. They're going to be like, oh, you either hit your mark or you didn't. Right. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, sales drives a lot of the inventory buying. So it's just how do
Yeah.
you have that conversation around this is the risk to the business. And at the end of the day, if you don't have the stakeholder support, it's a hard conversation to have.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
it really is just aligning that. And then it's a trust thing. Like once someone
Yeah.
understands when you actually you're not just having a conversation, but you're like, listen, here's our sales. This is what the sales look like. This is the data. This is the gap that's missing. Let's see if we can explain it.
Mhm.
But once everybody
Mhm.
is not forced to just take a number and they're actually have a seat at
Yeah.
the table to have a conversation, it makes the trust more, it makes the trust better. It makes the forecast that people can align with. And then it kind of makes that conversation a little
Mhm.
easier. It's never easy, but
I
it's
see.
a lot easier.
Yeah.